Hey, it's me, Uncle Ricky. Welcome to the latest installment of Uncle Ricky's House. And you know what? I'm glad to be here to do it. Because ain't nothing guaranteed on the spiritual plane or in the physical plane. And if this election that we just went through doesn't prove that or support that theory, I don't see what else does, because things that were supposed to happen, that historically had happened, that had all the conditions right for them to happen, didn't happen. Now, what does that mean? Well, it kind of probably means that democracy will survive at least for another 2, maybe 3 years without facing another major test. Oh, there will be little idiots, basically Republicans, running around trying to erode the foundation of democracy so that they can replace it with an autocratic, limited power-based government where only one type, or perhaps even one central figure, dominates and dictates the path and the rules that will govern or operate this country, into, the next 10, 15 years, or probably into in eternity, as long as they're the United States. The thing is, their plan of government doesn't allow for the success or the livability for all people. It only makes concessions for their success, for their comfort. Everybody else got to get what they get just so that they can continue to serve them. That's what it boils down to. And fortunately, it's not going to happen yet. Now, the other thing is, a lot of people got to eat crow, got to eat their own words, got to eat. A month ago, they were chest pump, fist bumping, dancing in the halls of the House of Representatives, telling people how they intended to fuck them when they came to power. Well, they may still come to power in the House, but they may not come to power in the Senate. And even if they do, the margin will be so small that no matter how they vote, they got to remember that they have to answer to the people back home. The Congress is different. They only have to answer to the people in their district. So if you come from a far right-wing red, us versus them, and with us being the power and them get in where you fit in district, you're not afraid to be MAGA. But now, since MAGA has been exposed as a real detriment to the continuation of this country on any basis, then senators going to have to be careful, because they know that they can get voted out. They know that they are not secure just because they carry that MAGA bullshit stamp on their ass. And also because now they are beginning to realize they do not have to fear Donald Trump. Now, whether they wise up and get away from this whole MAGA trend, I doubt it, because it fits into their playbook too carefully. They'll go out and pick another fucking oppressive, stunning, asshole leader, fake ass strongman like a Ron DeSantis or a Greg Abbott, if you will. Perhaps even a Glenn Youngkin. But irregardless of the map or the mask or the banner that waves in front of these assholes, it's all about ripping off the public. It's all about how much can I suck out of the public? How much power can I get for me and mine while I run this country? Irregardless of whether I do it good or run it in the ground, I, me, mine, we are going to profit. The Ferengi logic, if you ever watch Star Trek. The thing is, Democrats also have to learn something from this too. They have to learn that they have to start trusting the younger people that are in their party, the progressives that are in their party. Because, once again, irregardless of promises made or promises kept, the progressives came out, and not so much to support the leadership, but to stop the oppressive MAGA fascist wave from completely taking over and destroying the world that exists and destroying any opportunities of turning the future into a better world. These are the people that save the day. So this isn't the first time, but in the last 2-3 election cycles, the power of the youth vote cannot be ignored. It makes so much difference that one of the first things Republican congressmen that are going to be in the next seated Congress, that one of the first things they said, if they take power back, not only are they going to impeach Biden and Harris and Blase and, laugh when Nancy has to hand over the gavel to whoever, they are going to repeal the 26th Amendment. The 26th Amendment is what gives 18-year-olds the right to vote. And the logic behind that, if you're old enough to get drafted, if you're old enough to volunteer to go off to war and die in a war you may not even agree with, but just because you go because it's your country, because you're 18, you deserve the right to vote for the people that are going to decide where they send you. It makes sense. But see, Republicans aren't about sense, they are about power. The biggest thing is that was exposed that wealth does not generate correctness. Wealth is not a symbol of stability. Wealth is not a factor that should be considered when you pick your leaders. Oh, it's impressive that, so-and-so is worth millions or billions, but you got to consider really how they got there. And in Donald Trump's case, is that wealth real? Or is that wealth manipulated? Because now it is obvious that he told one group of people that taxed him, the law that taxed him, that he was only worth this. But he told the people that he wanted to, get inside their heads, cap them up, get them to follow him, that he was all that. It is brazen. It is crazy how people shortchange the ability of individuals in this country to think for themselves. You can get within a certain group and have them ready to go out and lay their lives down for you just with the snap of your finger. And most of them wear red hats or run around waving banners talking about save our country, and the only thing that's on their mind is the crisis at the border, law and order, and America, red, white, and blue, do or die. And they have no idea what any of this really fucking means. They have no idea how to solve the problem. They don't even really realize that the level of a problem, or if it is a real problem. They just go on the word of those that have the power. And the power is based on what the power was given to them by the people because they were impressed by their wealth. The wealthy supporting the wealthy, and the party dominating everybody else. This whole money thing, and I'm not saying that I hate wealth because I'm a poor bastard. I may never be rich. I may never, be above a certain level on the income scale. One, because I'm old as fuck. My working days are done. But two, because a long time ago, I realized that money ain't everything. As long as you got enough to do what you need to do, as long as you got enough to keep your a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and maybe every now and then go out and enjoy yourself and make sure that your kids have a decent education and the basics are covered, then maybe that's all you're going to get out of life. And you should learn how to be happy with that, because there's so many that never even achieve that. This, money makes you right, or money makes your opinion the way that we should all go. It's starting to cave in on many different fronts. Trump has crashed and burned. I look at Kanye. It doesn't matter what you think about the correctness of Kanye's personal thoughts. It doesn't matter what you think about Jews. It doesn't matter what you think about none of this bullshit. What matters is what has any of this bullshit done to directly improve the quality of your life. And this is why I believe Ye really identifies with Trump so greatly, because regardless of what's on the outside, on the inside, they are two twisted motherfuckers. All about bullying, all about twisting people up into doing what they want them to do, flexing their power and muscle. Both of them are on the decline because they overestimated their worth, they overestimated their value, they overestimated their influence on the public, they overestimated the public's opinion to think for themselves. Yep. We still on the edge, folks, but we haven't fallen in. There's still hope for democracy. There's still hope that America will regain at least enough of its sanity, collective sanity, that we can continue as a nation and provide a place for our kids to grow up, that we can start rectifying, that we can start controlling the crime is like off the chain. And we got to make some significant social changes on both sides to bring that crime rate back into an acceptable level. But until we start following common sense, listening to everyone, working through all the problems, instead of prioritizing the demands of the rich, we'll never ever be safe. We'll never ever be sure of our future. Other than that, all I got to say is peace out and God bless from Uncle Ricky's house.
It's been a few days since we had FaceTime. That was cliche. My time is